So you're making your debut next month against Lizzy Gevers in Paris. You know, how do you feel that you match up with Lizzy? And like, I wanted to know, like, did you actually see her in was you at Newcastle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just wanted to see. Yeah. But and also, like, how do you feel about fighting in France again?
Yeah, I feel the French crowd is amazing.
Yeah.
Like from the last time, like the whole crowd atmosphere was amazing. They love MMA. Like it's only got legalized there a few years ago, and like it got sold out in like 2 minutes. Like the whole tickets, like they love the whole experience. And obviously, I fought on Hexagon in March, and I got the viral KO. So like everyone, like I'm famous in France. Literally, I have so much French followers. People fly over to like GB just to meet me. Just like. Yeah, so I'm really, my stakes are high in France, so I'm going back to try replicate what I did in March. But without the elbow, because there's no elbows in PFL.
Yeah. How familiar was you with Lizzy?
I'm not really familiar with her, to be fair. I watched her in Newcastle. Yeah. It was a good fight, but I think for me personally, looking at the girls on the roster now, I think levels above them. Yeah. She's a judo fighter, and I fought like 5 judokas in like the past year. Like I'm used to fighting them. I know what to do to make sure I don't get judo throwed or play into their game plan. And I'm just going into this fight with confidence, really. Like I'm working my game plan with my coaches, and it's working in sparring, it's working in the gym, and I'm literally not phased. I think I have better jiu-jitsu than her. My wrestling is better. Wrestling always beats judo. My wrestling is really good. Working with Brad, and just 100%.
And then obviously the other big news was, which I've only just finished it recently, but I was hooked from episode 1 right to the end. The Good Fight Club finally dropped, and I remember seeing it like on social media and like different fighters mentioning that they had the documentary guys following them, so I was really interested in seeing the finished product. So it's dropped now. That's added it all to it for you, I guess. What's the reception been like since that's dropped? And
it's the reception for it's been literally amazing. Not even the way I like how they done it. They kind of obviously it's about fighting, but they didn't really make it about fighting. They made it really personal, and they really like humanitized the fighters, and they really highlighted the fact that we're normal people. We're not like psychopaths. We're not like brutes, like psycho criminal people. Like we're literally just normal people. We get upset, we cry, we get upset when we lose, we get happy when we win. Like we're just literally one of you guys, and we're just obsessed with the sport for some reason. And you get to see everyone's point of view of why they fight, what they want to achieve, and what we have to go through to make it to a stage. Because a lot of documentaries and shows only sees you at your best in your fights, but they don't see the lead up to the fights, the late nights, the early mornings, the hard training, your family lives. Your family life might be difficult, which motivates you to be training, and they really highlight that and humanitize us, so it's amazing. So the reception, we've got a lot of obviously martial arts fans who watched it, people who love sport, and we've actually got a lot of normal people watching it. Like a lot of normal people was hit me up in Instagram, just like, oh, you inspired my son to not even do sports, like for art, music. Like, I'm inspiration of their daily lives. People with mental health issues, it helps inspire them to be happier. So even just like martial arts people and normal people, it really like resides with them.
Like my brother, who's, you know, I guess you could call him like a casual fan of combat sports, more of a bigger boxing fan than anything. He was absolutely hooked on it, and he's telling me about it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I interviewed like Shanelle. He's like, you interviewed Shanelle? It's just funny because it's just like they've seen it on Sky now. And but one thing I found, which I guess is a testament to the filmmakers of how well they did. You know, I love. I think Cage Warriors Academy is one of the best shows in the UK, so I follow it. First time I met you and interviewed you was at Cage Warriors Academy. and I'm watching a documentary, like I don't know who's going to win these fights, and I'm like, oh my god, like
you same.
yeah, I was like, God, and I was like, you know who won this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I was literally like, I was like the main character in the show, and they filmed for like 8 months. So I know everything that's happened, and I was watching it like the edge of my seat, like, oh my days, what happened? I was just like, but like the most amazing thing about it is like you see how close I am with the people in the show. But even watching it, like I never knew like why you got into the sport. I never knew like you had problems with your father. I never knew you had anorexia. I've never knew this type of things, because like when you come to a gym, everyone leaves that all behind, and everyone just like comes alive and forgets all their personal life. Everyone's all the same in the gym, and then you see when they film, when they go home, what they actually have to go through when they go to the gym. Which I think the gym's amazing for that type of thing.
Yeah, and that's it. It's like everything's out the window, right? You're all working to this one goal.
Yeah, exactly.
One of my highlights in it, like talking about like people's stories, Kenny's dad, that was brilliant. And I think he looks like he even faints at one point.
Literally.
It was brilliant. He's like, I'm never going to say anything again. This is what is. It was brilliant to watch, but like, it really takes you in. That was my highlight. Like you watching back, like watching the whole finished product. It doesn't have to be you. It could be like the other teammates. What was like some of your highlights when you're watching it back, and why?
When we went on holiday.
Yeah, that was good.
that was funny. Just the whole thing. Like I really love watching like everyone's like personal lives and why they really got into the sport and like the emotions and the things people had to go through. That's what I really loved about it.
Another really good highlight on there that kind of gave me chills like watching it was at the Four Nations. Like we're seeing you work with Molly and Steve's there obviously, but like Molly, like in the post-fight celebration, and again I knew the results of that, but I'm on the edge of my seat, like, you know. But like Molly calling you like the future of MMA, like how does that feel? Like obviously you must have felt something at the time, but like again watching it back, documented on TV.
Yeah, I don't think at the Four Nations I actually heard her say it. So I heard her say it for the first time on the interview. I just think like people believing in me is just it just makes me feel like it's worth doing. Like what I'm doing is actually worth it. What I'm doing is actually right. The path I'm at is actually I made the right decisions and I'm actually doing well. So someone that's like on the biggest stage possible is looking at me as like the future. It's literally just. It lifts me up like every day.